some of the fighters on this card have the opportunity, the ability to break into the top three and possibly be world champions.
Chisanga Malata of the Sun here with the man who needs no introduction. In the words of Joe Rogan, none of this would be possible without him. I potentially wouldn't even have a job without him, to be honest, if you think about it. Talking about UFC President Dana White. Dana, how are you doing?
I'm good, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks. As I said earlier, thanks very much for the time today. I know you guys are busy in the war room, what have you, on a Tuesday, and then obviously you've got some matchups in the back there, but we appreciate the time ahead of UFC London.
It's a pleasure, bro.
So speaking of London, it's been over 3 years since you guys last touched foot in the United Kingdom. Just how excited are you to return to the UK in general and in London in particular, where there's a huge fan base?
I'm very excited. You know, obviously, you guys over there have a different energy in the arena, especially when your guys are fighting. So, and I mean, just the pent-up demand for an event. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting the fans to blow the roof off of that place. I'm looking forward to the food. I'm looking forward to a lot of things over there. Look, my old partner Lorenzo's over there right now.
Okay.
So he's giving me a lay of land of all the restaurants that are good to check out.
And what day are you actually flying out over?
I leave tomorrow, so
okay.
I get there Thursday morning.
Okay, fair enough. And speaking of getting back on the road, obviously this will be your first European event in I think since the Russia show in Moscow in November 2019. In general, is London going to be the tester event for getting back on the road in Europe in general?
Is London going to be the what?
The tester event to see how it is going around Europe in general?
Probably, yeah. I would say so, yeah. I mean, you know, we got through COVID. Now there's a whole nother set of hurdles and issues.
Yeah.
There's always something, man. There's always something. So we'll see. We'll see how this whole thing plays out.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys didn't foresee a war breaking out in mainland Europe when you were devising plans earlier this year. And speaking of COVID, obviously you guys did a tremendous job navigating through the uncertainty and becoming the first major sports league to return back. Now, with the benefit and hindsight, how would you assess your team's performance and when the call to arms went out for major sports to come back?
Yeah, no, it was incredible, man. It was an incredible time. Obviously very challenging, but very fun at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And I think recently you said in an interview with BT Sport that coming back to London will hopefully signify the start of branching out in the UK and that you're committed to hosting future shows outside of London. Does that mean places like cities like Glasgow and Birmingham will land events again, or are you looking to branch out to different cities in the UK also?
Absolutely. Manchester too, and all the other great cities we've been to in the UK. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And what is it? I know you touched on it briefly there beforehand, but what is it about the UFC that you think has resonated with United Kingdom fans like over the last 20 years?
Well, I mean, we have on television and live, it's the most exciting live sport you'll ever see. So we're very lucky that we're one of those rare sports that it's incredible on TV, but it's even better live. And you know, the UK has always been a massive fight country, you know, and the amount of talent that's coming out of there. I mean, just look at the talent on this card alone.
Yeah, that's very true. And that brings me to my next question. A lot of us who have covered mixed martial arts in the UK for a long time believe this is the best crop of UK fighters that we've had ever. Do you agree with that suggestion that this is the quote unquote the golden generation of UK mixed martial artists?
100%. I mean, some of the fighters on this card have the opportunity, the ability to break into the top three and possibly be world champions.
Moving back to UFC London, obviously the card's headlined by Wigan's Tom Aspinall, and he's facing Alexander Volkov. What hurdles were there to get Volkov into the country? Because I know our Home Secretary said essentially put a blanket ban on Russian citizens entering, Russian athletes entering the country.
You know, we have something like 750 fighters under contract now from all over the world. So there's always visa issues and things like that, even when the world is normal. So we figure it out. We get it done.
No, fair enough that you do. And speaking of Volkov's opponent, Tom Aspinall, obviously he's on a roll in the UFC, 4 consecutive victories. Where would a win over a former world champion, albeit outside of the UFC, in Volkov, put him in the title picture?
You're saying Tom, if he beats Volkov?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, I mean, he'll break right into the top 6. I mean, then you're looking at like Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades, Tai Tuivasa, Stipe, Cyril Gane. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And he would work his way up. He wouldn't just pop right up and walk into a title shot. But, you know, it's a big deal. It's a big fight. It's a major fight for him at the O2 in London, in his home country, you know, against the top 6 guy in the world. It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. And another fighter from that region, from Liverpool, who's made a big impression is Paddy Pimblett. What were your first impressions of him when you saw him? Because obviously I know you guys have been aware of him for a long time. He was in Cage Warriors, and I think he turned down a couple contract advances because he wanted to keep building himself outside of the octagon. What were your first impressions about him, and what do you think of his star power and the potential that he has?
Yeah, obviously he's got a great personality. People love him. You know, he's got that thing that people like. And, you know, we noticed from the moment he set foot here that this kid was going to have the potential to be a star. Yeah. You're going to have all that. You got to win fights now, you know, and this is a tough place to keep winning.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And how fast are you willing to push him? Because it seems that he's willing just to take on all comers.
I don't know. You know, we'll see this fight. We'll see how he does. And you know, our matchmakers do a great job when it comes to, you know, getting guys the right fights at the right time.